call a public safety committee meeting on Monday, February 2nd to order. We have a motion to approve and modify the agenda. Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. Moved by La Bouvier and second by, That's when how blocky days today. Alright, approve or modify the minutes of January 5th? Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, moved by La Bouvier and second by Eric.
Easter.
I keep thinking of Bernie Erickson, I don't know why.
You sat here for a year now.
We have to vote on that.
Oh, it's Bernie Erickson on my mind today for some reason.
Yeah.
Alright,
We have to vote on that. Have to vote.
We need to vote on that.
We need to vote on
okay, just my things messed up. Right, we have to have a vote?
Yep.
it. Yeah,
Oh, but the motion's made, just has to vote.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. Aye. Aye.
Aye.
All ayes, all opposed. Motion approved. Alright. Comments from the public. Any comments from the public? Any comments from the public? Okay, come up and, right there. Okay, we'll give you 5 minutes. Yep. Yep, we need your name. Are you a lobbyist?
No, I'm not.
State your name and.
My name's Charles Collier. I'm actually running for District 15 here at the county. With everything going on nationally, I figured this would be a good time to just kind of see, or obviously, and I'm running for the election, so I want to see what Ms. Rentmeester's work here is, and see how you guys are overseeing and what's on the docket here in the committee. Just kind of looking over, especially like I started here, things in the national spotlight. I know the 287G contract with Brown County Sheriff's Office has gained some attention with the ACLU. There's nothing I'm here to say you should or you shouldn't do, but one thing I would be interested to see is to maybe amend some of that language from the county standpoint in terms of seeing what is that actual interaction on a monthly basis. What are the numbers of the ICE detainees that we're holding in the prison? How long are they there? Are there charges? Just those kinds of things. Some sort of basic oversight for the public to add some accountability, some transparency so that we all know what's going on. And that we can all just kind of stay here together as a community and look out for each other as neighbors. With that being said, I'm really excited to see what's on the docket here. Really excited to see you guys perform your business. And you know, if I'm so chosen by the electors, I'm excited to do business with you in a few months here. So thanks for having me. I'm really happy to be here.
Any more comment public? No time? Any public comments? Any public comments? Okay, we close it. Close the public comments. Alright, consent agenda.
Motion to approve the consent agenda as presented 1 through 5.
Second. Alright, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Clerk reports. See them. District attorney. See them. Medical exam. Let's see here. Alright, public safety communications.
No, the district attorney said he will not be here this evening, and Supervisor Nicholson will be late, but he'll be here. Sorry.
Okay, so good evening. I just want to first kind of talk about over the last year or so, we have demoed AI technology. This AI technology is available to assist with non-emergency calls for call centers. We're seeing more and more centers using AI technology, and there's article after article. If you just look on the web of more agencies implementing it, we took a very slow approach, and we wanted to see other agencies implement AI kind of tested before we wanted to really look into it. And whenever they're using this AI technology, it is for non-emergency, it does not touch 911 calls, that's how we're really seeing it being used. It's not a phone tree, it's conversational, it'll transfer a caller to a dispatcher if the caller asks to talk to a dispatcher. If AI detects, for example, injuries or an escalation of a call, it will immediately transfer to a dispatcher. If it is a non-emergency call, AI will collect information and send the information to the dispatcher. One thing to remember, there's always a human in the loop. The center would have to implement their policies into the software, and that's how it would operate based on the center's, what they implement. There's a potential to lessen the burden on our team, members so that they can focus on emergency calls. One company has offered for us to send 1,000 calls free of charge, and they would review it and let us know what AI could do with those 1,000 calls. We wanted just to ensure that it would work for us, benefit PSC and our citizens and the visitors to the county that would call in. We really wanted to go live in other centers, which we've seen several in Wisconsin that has gone live with AI. The management team feels that we're at that step that we should probably at least do the test beta, send 1,000 calls and see what it can do. Just kind of wanted to get your guys' opinions on that, or if you had any questions.
If you go through that, AI you will send them 1,000 calls and see if they are able to help us out.
Yeah, so there's a few different things that it can do. You can have it set up where if somebody calls and they say they need a report from the Green Bay Police Department, it would transfer them to the department that handles that without it going to a dispatcher. If they call and they say that their mailbox has been damaged and it's past tense, they could take that information, enter that information that would be dropped, so our dispatchers would then dispatch it out without talking to the caller, and it's conversational, as in if you're talking to it, it's gonna respond conversationally. But again, this is just us kind of exploring it, and that next exploring step would probably be to see it with 1,000 calls, how many AI could handle, which could lessen those non-emergency calls coming into our dispatch center.
How much is our non-emergency, how much is that volume gone down?
Quite a bit. It's right now at 135,000, I believe, approximately, is the calls that are non-emergency calls. We do have our phone tree that operates and handles some. We have heard reports between 40 and 70% can be handled by AI. This could also be something that could potentially be a county-wide initiative where one of the vendors we were talking to said they're seeing counties where the police department, sheriff's office, fire departments are using the same systems at the dispatch center with handling some of those calls, report requests, things like that. So it could be an initiative that potentially other agencies could join on.
But the goal is still to not have so many non-emergency administrative calls. We're still headed in that direction, correct? Or are some of the agencies still forwarding their calls to us?
Not that we've noticed as much. We, as far as our team members, these are certified trained emergency dispatchers that, again, we've had lots of conversations during these committee meetings, that are answering some of these non-emergency calls. While it is lessened, this could be another opportunity to see, but again, approach slowly and start with a test first before it's ever implemented.
Good idea.
Is this something that's in the consultants? Is this coming from that
Yeah, so
recommendation?
it was in the consultant's report to review it. Again, that consultant's report is a year old at this point, and even a year ago, it has changed and improved significantly over this last year. More vendors offering it.
In that report, did they suggest what the benefit would be to implement a strategy like this in terms of
Mhm.
taking over where a human resource
Mhm.
currently is needed in that capacity.
Yeah, and some of the things, and I spoke to the consultant actually this week and last week. One of the things he talked about is it's being brought up a lot in these conferences. Everybody's talking about AI. I think every job has the potential for AI to be part of it. And I think the approach, it's been different with different agencies. I told him that we've gone quite slow and demoed with several different vendors and are close to a testing phase. They, again, at that time, when you're talking over a year ago, I guess, was the actual report, it has changed so much and so many other agencies have joined on. And as far as what we're hearing is the more that it's joined, there's more that AI is learning and the more that it can do. But again, I think it's really important to stress that at any point, if somebody mentions injury or they want a dispatcher, AI will transfer it. They do have a quality assurance program running in the background to ensure and to watch these calls as they are coming in and ensuring that they're transferring properly. But this is beginning stages, right? I mean, if we start with this test, let's see what this looks like first and see if we believe it's something that could assist us in our county.
What do you need from us to try
I don't
this,
think anything,
have
I
this
wanted to
test?
bring it up to you and just make sure that you were aware that it's something that we're looking at.
Yeah, Chancy and I have been talking about that for a while.
Mhm.
One of them was called Ava. That was actually one they were looking at. I had it brought up to me, I have relation in Texas that are fire and police chiefs down there, and they're telling me about it, so we've been talking and looking at a few things about that, so,
Mhm.
the future.
So it's something we can look at and then I can report back to the group of what we've seen. I have drafted a specialty pay rule for 2026, that would be for both retention and overtime initiative for our team members. We want to not only provide additional bonus for those that are working overtime, but also provide a bonus to our dedicated team members based on their years of service. I also drafted a specialty payroll for 2026 for a sign-on bonus for new hires with dispatch experience. Both would be funded using carryover from the 2025 salary savings. Green Bay Mike and Key Club, the Aries, this is amateur radio emergency service ham radio operators requested to install equipment on our new Franken Tower. This will give coverage for them to operate throughout Brown County. They assist in major emergencies, relaying emergency radio traffic. They also work with emergency management. At this time, we do not predict any interference with our radio equipment, and we also, if it's found later that there will be interference, we will move and remove the equipment. They will either move or remove the equipment at their expense. We have an agreement between them and Brown County that has been reviewed by court counsel, and any costs associated, they will fund that cost. As you know, that's kind of a quick update, and I can move on to the consultants part of it.
Yep.
As you know, the committee requested consultants to review many areas of concern. They found the schedule to be the priority. The new schedule began on 1/4/26. It is a 2-2-3 schedule, also known as the Pittman schedule. We had our team vote on which schedule they liked out of the 3 recommended best practice schedules by the consultants. The 2-2-3 schedule had the majority of votes with 63% of the vote. The 3.5 on 3.5 off had 35% of the vote, and then the 5-2-5-3 had 2% of the vote. We also understand, the management team understands that not everyone picked this schedule, and it's possible that it will not work for everyone. It has only been a month and it's a big change. We do need to be patient, and we have to be open and ready to make any adjustments as needed. The management team has received some positive feedback from team members, including those that work on the schedule. Additionally, we had 1,118 hours of overtime above their regular schedule, working at a console during the 2 pay periods in December. we had 542 above regular schedule during the 2 pay periods in January. So this would be above their regular schedule of the 48 hours on their long week and 36 hours on their short week. The hours at the console above the regular schedule has decreased more than half with the new schedule. I do have 2025 end of year reports. We are down 8% in 25 compared to 24, and that would make us 18% in 25 compared to 23, which is when the consultants.
Thank you.
We are also down 4% for our calls for service, which are our calls dispatched. As far as when you're looking at, we're down a bit on the 911 calls. The admin calls, those include our internal calls as well. So that is in that list. The outbound calls, that is decreased. I think in 23, we were at 74,000 outbound calls and we're at 52. Part of that is calling callers back at the request of agencies, which we have told our agencies that that is something we're not gonna do unless it is public safety, something of concern, a house description, so that part has dropped as well. One of the things in the consultant's report was DOR software. We are currently starting to build that within the software. We've had several meetings with them. This is going to improve, hopefully our intent is for this to improve our training and the matrix of our training. Right now, if somebody is not getting a certain portion of the training, it's kind of a yes or no. We're looking at a slide up between 1 and 5 where you can kind of show progression. They may start at a 1 and as they train and get more knowledge, they're showing that progression that they can work toward. Our policy and procedure software, we are still training and we are actually starting to import documentation into that. Again, that was part of that consultant's report. EFD, which is the emergency fire dispatching, the contract has been signed and we're waiting for our project manager to reach out with a schedule for project implementation. We also, within the consultant's report, they talked about EPD and we, or if we don't do that, we need to set some standard operating guidelines for law enforcement calls. We have our last batch that we'll be reviewing with the law enforcement dispatch user group in March. Once that is done, we should be ready for implementation of that section as well. Any questions?
No, I just, with regards to, I'm going to wait until, administration committee is doing a chapter rewrite on 4. I will see what they do. It will give us the flexibility, perhaps hire some more, telecoms from the, vendor that we have.
Okay.
And, I will wait to see what they do, and they have that on their agenda, I believe, on their next agenda. Otherwise, I'll ask for a table of organization change at, county board meeting, so we'll see what, maybe have some extra positions come in from there, so. Or extra bodies, so. That will help, with anything that might come up. There's probably not anything right now, but, anything that might, so. Just to, have a quick motion.
Sure.
Are we done with public safety communications then?
Yeah, is that Chancy?
All right, so,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Emergency management.
Evening.
Couple of updates from our office. The first is some local outreach initiatives that we've been doing in January. The first is we held our quarterly local emergency manager work group meeting. This is,
Yeah,
can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
yeah.
So that invite list is comprised of all the municipalities within Brown County along with specific stakeholders that have emergency preparedness duties such as hospitals, universities, schools, things like that. So we held our meeting here in January. We plan to have a next meeting in March, focusing on damage assessment during kind of the spring thaw flood time of year. So very timely for that group. That group is gaining steam. I was asked to present at the Brown County Towns Association meeting in January, which I did. And again, gave them kind of updates in emergency management and their role in it. And that actually had several towns reach out to me after that meeting wanting to express interest in joining the group and getting more involved in this space. That was encouraging. So that whole thing's picking up steam, which is what I was hoping for. Grant updates, our EPGR grant, that's about a $70,000 grant. I submitted the final paperwork for that this week, so that I could get that full award for that grant, so that'll be coming through. Still waiting on the bigger grant, the DNPG federal grant, that's still under a state hold. We'll do expect to get that, it's just a timing thing at this point, but, once all the paperwork's ready to once the paperwork's ready to be filed, I'll let you guys know and keep you updated on that. I will ask your, opinion, I've mentioned a BRIC grant before. We've updated what's called our all hazard mitigation plan. That was a grant that I received through our office that got passed through to planning, the planning department. They've been working on that plan for the last about 6 months. It's now done. It's in its final draft stage. We sent to the state for final review. We looked at it from 5 years ago when that plan was rewrote 5 years ago for the update. That adoption and resolution went through PD&T, because that was a department that did the updates, and so it went through them first and then the county board for final approval. Would you guys be okay with that same course of action, or would you like me to do an update with you guys first? Would you guys prefer to be that body that accepts that? Just wanna get your opinions on that. Right, I plan on reviewing it this month, and the final review of it, but probably the next month it will go.
So what are you asking?
Would you, do you guys wanna be the oversight committee that would review and approve a resolution for adoption of this plan? Or would you prefer that it go through PD&T, which it did 5 years ago, when we initially did it last
I
time?
guess I'd like to see a resolution, but what are the wishes of the committee?
Yeah, I'd like to see this.
Come through here?
I don't remember it going to PD&T, I think.
Yeah, that shouldn't happen.
I don't know.
I disagree with that.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to get your opinion on it, because I wasn't
Okay,
here back
thank
then,
you.
but, yeah.
Just bring it back with,
For you guys?
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
Okay.
Do you remember anything like that? No?
I don't know, I would have to look into that a little bit
I
more.
don't.
Yeah, we can, yeah, that's fine.
Anything with 911 or emergency management really should go through you first.
Yeah.
maybe it was funny business with the Hintz administration. Did it go back that far?
It was 5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll get it cleaned up. So, that'll come for next month. I'll review that and get you some kind of one sheeter on to be able to review. It's a long document, I don't need you to read through the whole thing, but I'll give you kind of the high points, a resolution for that.
Thank you.
And then, the last thing is, also for next month, this body, per state statute, is, the governing body for the county in terms of our emergency plan for the entire county. I've been looking at it, I wanna make some pretty significant changes, modifications. And I don't wanna get too in the weeds tonight, but, I'll provide you again another memo for what I propose to do. But just kind of priming the pump tonight on, there's two parts to the plan. One is called a basic plan, and then one is called our emergency support functions. Those are, think of that as more the policy and the procedure. So my goal is to take all of the policy language out of the procedure documents, move it over to one document that this body can approve, and that becomes more of the regulatory piece of the plan that says we have a plan, what's entailed, it kind of overviews all the different parts of it. And then you guys can review and approve that, and then as a board annually, you'll review and adopt that. And then that'll allow me to do the 15 subcomponents of that plan, and those are things more procedural, names and phone numbers, things that change regularly that you don't wanna be doing every time that changes. So, I'll bring you kind of what we have now, what I plan on it looking like, cleaning it up a bit, adding some things to it, but you guys will have to be the ones that, by statute, have to approve all that. So that'll be coming in slow waves over the course of the year as I get through, so. Okay, any questions on that?
Well, thanks for being at the town's meeting, you did real good.
Thank you.
Okay, sheriff's report.
Look, so just going off of last month's, meeting, again, no significant operational issues. Report on staffing. As of today, the jail is down 7 correctional officers. We do have 1 planned retirement and 1 planned hire yet this month. So we'll continue at the 7, that's with the 4 black spots for the, new pod when it opens. So 4 additional. We're currently down 5 deputies, 3 tentative hires following the, graduation from the academy, that they're in, that's ended in May. So staffing wise, we're doing pretty well. Like I said, no operational issues.
Any questions for the undersheriff? If not, let's go to jail replacement project update.
Okay, so I'm told, and I've seen, on camera that the, precast walls are up. They're working on pouring the 2nd floor. Everything is on schedule. The, should be substantially completed by the end of August, operational sometime a month or so after that, end of September. The roof is anticipated to begin, end of this month. So right now, everything is going as planned and on schedule.
Any questions for the undersheriff? If not, we'll go to 12. Status and timeline of training facility range office space.
So after the numbers that were reported last month, I talked to the Director of Administration tonight. That number, the high end of that was more than he had anticipated, so he does need to go to some other departments to, before we can move to the next step which would be when he finds the money that we would look to get an architect and move forward with drawings.
Okay. Any questions for the undersheriff? If not, Chad, do you wanna comment at all?
No, so the shooting range in the CIPA was budgeted, I think, in 2027 and 2028. I think the total amount was roughly about 8 million. Right now, with the newer request, which was much, much higher, the newer request is about 15 million, so we're, in the delta of about 8 million that we have to make up. So right now I'm going through other departments to see what I can move around and to readjust some of those projects. Sales tax over the next 5-10 years is gonna be extremely tight. We did have a few things that kind of tripped in some funds that became more available because we got to receive some additional grant money, which helped lower the highway portion. But I'm still going through that. And then the other thing too is there's also another request again to take some of that money and give it to municipalities. If that happens, that kind of throws a wrench in all the funding requests for capital. So I'm not sure when that's gonna be talked about, but I'm just trying to keep enough flexibility in there, but I'm fairly optimistic that we can work through that. The other thing too is the old Huber Center where a lot of this stuff is. It's gonna get really old, and sooner or later we're gonna be forced to do something with it, so it's just a matter of time, at the end of the day.
All right. Any questions for Chad? Teresa, you had a question for Chad?
No, I did not.
Okay. All right, moving forward. We have nothing for action items, resolutions, ordinances, or budget adjustments. Communications, I wanna hold for next month. Terry, I'm gonna give you a call, cause I can get a hold of Mark. He'll be available, then Jim will call you. Okay?
Number 13, you wanna?
Yes,
Motion
number
to
13.
hold.
Motion to hold, number 13, by Castor, second by Pyle, under discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays, motion carried. Communications Supervisor Nicholson requests an RFP for Brown County Range Office Space Building. Action at January 26th meeting to hold next Public Safety Committee meeting. Where did Chad go? Chad, can you comment on this?
It's the same comment as I provided prior. It wouldn't be an RFP, it would probably be, would be an RFP applied for architectural services. That would be the next logical step.
What is the cost of a bid for this project? I mean, if you don't have to be exact, I'm just curious, what are we looking at just for an RFP?
Okay, so for, that's pretty close. We're probably over, I'd say, okay, so my numbers, these are really loose, okay? Because I know you guys like to quote and respect. So it's gonna be for the architecture, it'll be over $1 million.
Okay.
But when the architect and you go to bid, that's really when we'll know what the real cost is.
Okay.
So, but before we would do that, we would make sure that we had a project we could actually fund.
Right.
And move forward, cause we
Okay.
don't wanna shelf it for 2 or 3 years because we're gonna have to redo it anyway.
Right.
So I'm just asking for more time, let me work through the departments, work through highway.
You got
work
it.
through a few others, and we have that other larger question coming up too, so.
Right. Okay. What are the wishes of the committee?
Yeah, wanna hold it?
I need a motion.
I'll make a motion to hold the.
Second.
Motion by Pyle to hold till next month, second by LeBouvier. Under discussion, hearing none, all in favor? Ayes, motion carried. Such other matters as authorized by law. Okay, need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion by LeBouvier to adjourn, second by Brett Meester. Under discussion, hearing none, all in favor, nays, motion carried. Oh, you wanna jump in? Okay. We're out of here.
Just wanted to say.